Welcome, friends. It's Indiana Homes and fam out here in Malibu Creek State Park for a hike this January 2024, so come along for the fun. Malibu Creek State Park in California preserves Malibu Creek Canyon in the Santa Monica Mountains. The 8,215-acre park was established in 1974 and opened to the public in 1976 as part of the Santa Monica National Recreation Area. It stretches from Malibu Lagoon to the Pacific Ocean. This area of California was inhabited by the Chumash people, Native Americans, for a millennia. The site of a village called Tailpop has been uncovered by archaeologists in the northeast corner of the park. The Chumash were famous for their redwood canoes, which they used to travel the coastline for hundreds of miles. By the 1860s, a few homesteads existed, including the Sepulveda adobe, which still stands. In 1900, a group of wealthy Los Angeles businessmen created the Crags Country Club and purchased 2,000 acres along Malibu Creek. In 1903, a 50-foot high dam was built nearby, creating a 7-acre lake, which was later purchased by 20th Century Fox and named Century Lake. The 3-level 7,500-square-foot Crags Club Lodge was completed in 1910. Redwood trees were planted near the lake that same year. Also within the park boundaries is the Renge Dam in Malibu Canyon, built in 1926. So here's the visitor center along the main trail that takes us off to all the other trails. It has a classic style of architecture, but it's only open noon to 4 Saturday and Sunday. Right across from the creek and the bridge to get here. Here we're looking straight up Malibu Creek, and you can see it's a pretty wide creek at this point, almost more of a river, but it is very calm and it is very shallow. Really nice. If we look over here to the left, it's a little hard to see because the sun is pretty bright. You'll see across the creek, and just nestled in the nestled at the bottom of these hills here is the visitor center. Beautiful area. Across the creek from the visitor center, we find ourselves on a trail that takes us to Rock Pool, which follows the creek up into this little canyon area and then terminates at a pond of sorts. Such a beautiful area here. Love all these oak trees and pine trees up here now too. Pretty amazing.
But you have to go like rooster fish. So it's like sports fishing. Or like someone sports fishing.
This is a popular area. But it's nice here in the winter. As we hike down this trail, which branches off from the main trail, this trail takes us to the rock pool, but as you can see, the trail itself is somewhat stony, somewhat rocky, and you walk much closer to the creek, which I think is a benefit. I like being close to the water and seeing the area up close and hearing the rushing water and getting to see any of the wildlife. So far I've seen ducks, I've seen a blue heron, some other birds high up in trees I could not recognize, and then a lot of bunnies out in the field when we first pulled up, and also some gophers and maybe marmots. I'm not sure what those were. Willow loves to climb into rocks and find hidey holes, and here she is hiding in a hole. That's our little climber Willow. There goes Willow again. It's always easier to get up than it is to get down. Should be interesting.
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know about that then. I think I might check it out. Because I don't know if I can get down once I get up here.
Do you need your sister to help you?
No. You sure? Yeah.
Note the rock climber with the silver nail polish. A rare find in the rock climbing world.
Yeah, this is not.
I wonder if you should be up there with your phone. There she goes. Up into Rockland. There she is, our little rock climber Willow. Awesome. Look at this. We got mountain bikers on the trail. That is cool. Very nice. Mountain bike crew. Very cool.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh no, there's plenty of holes for me to put my feet. Okay. Okay, yeah,
And she's down.
wasn't so bad.
No mosquitoes? Mosquito check. Usually whenever there's running water, you don't have the mosquitoes. It's the still water where you get mosquitoes. And being winter, I think there's not as many mosquitoes alive and buzzing as there is during the summer. You can see we've got rock climbers up here. This area and this particular face is known for rock climbers to enjoy climbing. Just pausing here along the trail on the way to the rock pool, and I think we're almost there, but I love the way the light's hitting this oak tree right here. This little pool of light in the trail in the shadow of the hill there, and it is beautiful here. As you can see, the water is moving, but it is moving gently, and far over on the other side of the rock pool you'll see there are some climbers that are attempting a climb up that rock face above the water. That is some brave stuff there. Not for me, but I'm happy they're having fun. Here's another view as I pan across. You get a little bit of an idea of the scale of the rocks above us, these hills made of, looks pretty much like solid stone. I'm standing here at the base of these rock mountain things, right at water level, and you can see various people in different areas climbing around. Pretty cool. Awesome time of year to do this. I highly recommend doing this in the winter because you will get heated up and sweaty climbing these rocks, and that will warm you up nicely in the winter. Now we're walking up to the MASH site and another lake, and we are in the sun now. It's getting a little warmer for us. We're starting to peel some layers off. Here's a good view of where we've come from. Where those porta potties are down there is where it splits. You either go straight to the right, you go to the right of the porta potties, and then that takes you to Rock Pool, or you come up the trail where that fellow's running right now. See where he's running up? That's the trail we just came up, and that will take you to the MASH site and the next lake, and then the site of Planet of the Apes, where they filmed some of that, as well as where Reagan's house used to be. And you can see the creek right there and the bridge. So it's kind of a good spot to kind of get your bearings. Off this main trail, we come to Century Lake Dam Trail, and it's just a 0.1 mile, so a tenth of a mile. So we're gonna head down here and check that out. And we have arrived at the lake. This is slippery when it's wet. This whole very, very, very short trail has been very slick and slippery because it's very wet. I think, you know, just from the night air and the trees weeping water off at night, it makes the trail very muddy. And we have made it. Wow, this is pretty. So pretty. Look at this. Look at that reflection. Wow. That's so
How big do you think the drop is on the other side?
Look at the reflection in the water, guys. How pretty that is. So leaving the lake now, we are on another like fire road that will join up with the main trail. And then this is still leading us up to the MASH site, as well as further on the Planet of the Apes site and the ruin, if there is anything left, of the burnt down Reagan house. As the trail flattens out, the area opens up into a bit of a field here with the rock mountains around it. On our way to the MASH site still. It's still morning, so we've got the sun sort of up and behind us, so I know I'm in shadow, but at least you can kind of see the surrounding area behind me on the trail, get an idea of what this looks like. This is a very, very easy hike. These trails are very well maintained, worn in, nice and flat. Little small undulations here and there. Some of the areas on the trails over to the two ponds or two lakes, of course, are more rocky, but very manageable. Easy going. Just on the left of the trail, we come to the Crags Road MASH site. It's 0.6 miles, so a little bit more than a half a mile off Crags Road to the MASH site. So here we go, guys. Just a short little half-mile hike. Nice and flat. Looks like we're going to go over a concrete, some kind of a concrete structure here for probably getting over the creek when there's a lot of water in it for vehicles to get over, I'm guessing. Or maybe not. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. The other side does not look like a vehicle could possibly go over this because it is a sheer drop-off over here. So I'm not quite sure what this concrete piece is. Although it looks like it did.
Down there, right there.
I think we have to go across this wood over here. Yeah, there's no other way around it.
That's funny. We'll get back up though. We can.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about that. Yeah, like Ruby trash.
Nah, those people just did it.
Yeah, I'll be example.
Not as flexible. Okay, show us how you get.
Across here, even if there was concrete, because there's nowhere for a vehicle to go. So that was just some kind of a flood control thing.
These are a little wobbly. Watch out.
Okay, so now we got to cross
This one's nuts.
here. Well, I think if you use both of them,
You gotta like.
you have to doop doop doop.
Come on. Speed run.
You want me to go first?
You can do it.
This doesn't look
Hold your
so
arms
good.
out. Just go fast. Go fast.
I don't know if I can do
Come
it.
to me. Look at me.
I don't know.
Go.
Somebody else.
You can
do
do
Okay,
it.
I'll go first.
Worst that'll happen is you get your
I'm
foot wet.
like 6 foot, so.
You can do it. You can do it. Just a couple more steps.
Back up for her.
And then off. Dismount. Dismount.
Little baby giraffe.
Very good.
Just getting on.
Okay. Will she make it?
It's harder with those shoes she has because they're tilted forward, you know, because they're like walking shoes, not hiking shoes.
Oh.
You just get on that one log, the taller one. Or that.
Cool.
Good job. Whoops. Okay, so we made it across. And now we are just on this little trail heading up to the MASH site. Looks like there's two different ways to go. I guess we'll go this way. I'm sure they both go to the same place. Here we go. Now it says road to MASH site, 0.6 miles. So what's nice about this trail is it feels more natural. Instead of being on what was like a fire road, that Crags Road, we're actually on a really nice little trail. So this is This is a lot prettier here. This is a really nice, pretty trail. It's wide enough to walk on with no problem, but it's also very nicely groomed. Hi, how's it going? And you can see here, this goes back to the Century Lake Dam, half a mile back. That's where we came from. So then we just keep on heading this way. And this is one very pretty little trail. Really nice. We do hear a jet high above, which is unfortunate, but I guess jet travel is just one of those things we're living with. Here's some nice birds here. I don't know what kind of plants these are here on the right, but right now they're all dry, but it must look really pretty when they're in bloom because they're pretty thick over here on the right hand side. I get the feeling that that all becomes another creek tributary when it's raining, and that probably feeds these shrubs or plants, whatever they are over here, that are all winter weathered looking, but they must look great in the spring after the rains. Here we are, it's January 13th, and we haven't had any rain, which is unusual. Last year we had so much rain in January. I think it was the rainiest January maybe on record in California, especially Southern California, and then it continued raining again through the spring. But so far we've had a dry January, and I know some people are celebrating dry January, but they're not celebrating the dry January of rain. Walking in the shade here is nice because now that we've been hiking for a while, we're getting pretty warm, and we're all layered up. Some of us have been taking our layers off. I haven't, so I'm a little toasty at the moment, but I think I'm going to keep my layers on for a while, because when we're walking in the shade, it is definitely a lot cooler by 10 or 15 degrees than when you're walking in the sun. So onward we go. I love hearing all these birds out here. So many different types of birds. I saw a nature photographer a little ways back. He had about a 2 foot long, maybe 2.5 foot long lens, and asked him if he'd got some good bird shots today, some good bird photography. He said, oh yeah. He said, always. He always has good luck up here. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good. It is unfortunate that our peaceful hike through nature here in Malibu is interrupted by the sound of jet airplanes. But what are you going to do? Everybody has to get somewhere, and I guess jets are the most efficient way to get there, at least in terms of time. And now we're back in the shade here. It's pretty dark, but mostly it's really cool. Plenty of light here for us to see. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good morning. Is this good morning? Yes.
Just barely, huh? It's so great out here. I love it. Being out in nature. Southern California, California in general, has some of the most beautiful parks to explore, some of those beautiful natural parks in terms of state parks and national parks. This is just one. I heard my first insect. I don't know if that was a fly or a mosquito. I am mosquito bait. Uh-oh, sounds like we have a injury my youngest daughter, Willow, is back behind me with my wife, and it sounds like she may have hurt her ankle, so I gotta head back. Okay, hopefully she'll be okay. Well, we are back on the trail. We have one slightly injured hiker, but she is soldiering on like the tough little lady she is, and I think we're gonna make it. All right, we have made it up to the beginning of the MASH site, and it looks like there is a MASH unit ambulance, which is exactly what our injured hiker needs. Unfortunately, this is just a prop. Oh yeah, it says Ambulance USA 73 1050 477th MASH, the 477 MASH unit. Very cool. Wow, they do not need comfort, do they? That is just a hard seat in there. That is crazy. Wow, hi. Look at that. Restored with pride by the Southern California Military Vehicle Collectors Club. Dan McCluskey, President, November 2020.
All right, load me in.
Yep. This is exactly where our injured hiker needs to be. If only this could take her back to the parking lot. But she was able to climb up there on her own, so I think that's good. But yeah, in the MASH zone at the moment. And now we're going to see what other bits of old stagecraft they have here. Props, vehicles, and so on. Here it is. Welcome to the historic filming site of TV's legendary MASH, Malibu Creek State Park.
You never seen a show?
Here we are. Actors Alan Alda, Wayne Rogers, and Loretta Swift. Wasn't she Hot Lips Hooligan? Houlihan? Hot Lips Houlihan? And the rest of the crew here. Here they are. How fun is that? This is the MASH location of the MASH set. Pretty neat. This was the 20th century Paramount Ranch, I believe, at one time, before it became part of the Malibu State Park. Here is a rusty old ambulance truck. This thing is not going anywhere. Wow. That is a rusty old truck. Here we are at the MASH thing. Everybody look here. Good, good, good. This is so funny. It says Burbank 5,610 miles, and Burbank is literally like 15, 20 miles away. Here is the entire cast of MASH celebrated on this state park sign. How cool, look at this. This was the MASH set. All these guys, how fun is that?
Yeah.
Okay, walking towards the exit from the MASH camp, we see the sign for the helipad. Anybody that ever watched the MASH show, remember the helicopters coming in and out. They filmed a lot of scenes up here on the helipad. So we're gonna walk up here and take a look at it. Okay, this looks like it's a little further up than I thought it was gonna be.
A bit of a hike.
There's a little bit of a uphill hike, but that's okay. We can do it. We can do it. You probably can't tell how steep this is, but this is pretty steep right up in here. But we're gonna do it anyway. Walking up, you can see there's like a big crevice in the middle of the trail. I'm guessing that is how the water comes down and just cuts through here when it rains. That's my guess. Okay. So yeah, this is where they used to land the helicopters for the show. I wonder if the stars Alan Alda and crew. I wonder if they were flown in by helicopter every day, as much as they had the helicopters for the show. Beautiful landscape out here. Just gorgeous. Standing above the helipad, standing on the helipad, we can see the MASH camp, or what was the MASH camp, down below. Now just a couple of broken down, rusted out vehicles and some picnic tables. There is no cellular service here. As you can see, no cellular service out here in Malibu Creek State Park, at least not out here at the MASH camp and not on most of the trails. So be aware, if you are hiking out here, if you are hiking out here, you have to be very careful, because if you get injured or lost, there's no way to call for help. You would just have to be relying on people that you hiked in with to hike out and get help for you, or to find some hikers along the way. There are some volunteer trail guides or trail rangers, I'm not sure what you call them, on mountain bikes, but you may not find them, or they may not be working out here when you're out here. So make sure that you bring everything you need with you. Water, first aid kit. If you have some kind of a satellite communication device like a Garmin, that would be advisable, because the only way you can use your iPhone out here or your Apple Watch is to use the emergency SOS, and then that's going to call in, I guess, search and rescue, and that's going to cost you a lot of money. And our motley crew is making its way back down Craggs Road to our car, probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half away from where we are now, so probably an hour and a half, but we shall make it. Well, we have finished our lunch. We had lunch at the MASH site, and now we are walking back down Craggs Road towards the parking lot. I think we've got a couple miles to go, maybe 3 miles. We're doing okay. We have had a few misfortunes. My youngest daughter, Willow, twisted her ankle and is hiking in pain, but she's soldiering on. And I have suffered a broken hiking shoe, as you can see. The moral of the story is, do not grab your oldest pair of hiking shoes thinking that they're still going to be good, because in this case they weren't. But I'm confident that these hiking shoes will stay together long enough for me to get back to the car, and if not, I'll just be hiking without a rubber sole, or maybe barefoot. Either way, we'll make it back. It'll be fine. You know, it would be great, ice cream.
That's what they're all saying.
Did you bring the cookies I got? No, I forgot.
I think some
How long we forgot about the cookies?
I think some soft serve ice cream dipped in chocolate
We'll just eat them ourselves.
with nuts on it would be great. Such gorgeous views here. I love the landscape in this area. It's so beautiful and natural. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notifications button. Thank you very much.